Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and we're going to take a look at potentially the best phone you can get right now, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Thanks to Xiaomi for sending this over for us to check out. I also want to say thanks. I appreciate you being here, all the support you've given to the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. Anyways, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra has all the top-of-the-line specs, OLED display, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, but also a quad camera system with the main wide-angle lens being a 1-inch sensor and having variable aperture. Having a variable aperture allows you to control the light intake and also change the depth of field of your images and videos that you take, which was actually on the Samsung Galaxy S9, I believe, a variable aperture. However, the sensor size was so small, it really didn't matter that much. But now that we have 1-inch sensors, having a variable aperture might actually change things. And I'll do a full test later on in this video showing you what I mean. But let's dive into it. The flagship phone, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Gonna quickly take a look what comes in the box, and then of course get a full hands-on with this new phone. Let's get started. Here it is, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra co-engineered with Leica. Let's see what we get inside the box. First of all, this section, which does open up, has a SIM ejection tool right there. And inside looks like we get some extras, just a card from Xiaomi right there, plus a getting started guide. You also get an included case, always nice when there is extras. This one does have a decent amount of texture and a lot of grip to the back of it. Here's just a quick close-up of it. We'll put this on the phone a little bit later on in the video. We do have our 13 Ultra. Going to build some anticipation, set that to the side for just a second, and continue through. Finally, in the box, you have your 90-watt charging brick via USB Type-A, and also a charging cable, USB Type-A to USB Type-C, all with orange accents to them. And on to what you came to see, the flagship from Xiaomi, the 13 Ultra. Let's peel off all of this plastic and this sticker right here. Setting it to the side. Here it is. This is the olive green color. This is a silicone leather back, which does have a decent amount of grip to it. Just check it out. Very large camera module right there, but very sleek looking still. I really do like this color. All right, we are going to boot up this phone, and while it turns on, we're gonna take a closer look at the hardware of this very premium feeling device. So down at the bottom, we've got a SIM card slot, microphone, USB Type-C port for charging, one of the speakers, and moving along on the right side, I want to point out very flat sides. However, the screen has a little bit of a curve. It's really not a lot, but there is a curve there, but you still have a lot of real estate to hold on to with the rails on the side of the phone. Anyways, power button, volume rockers, a camera bump right there. It's not crazy protruding out, but there definitely is an average size camera bump. And then up towards the top, looks like we have an infrared blaster, an IR blaster. Love to see that. That's this one right here. Microphone, and another one of our speakers. Finally, moving along the left side, absolutely nothing. And then flipping it over on the back, just a close look at that texture of the back. You do have the Xiaomi logo right there, and here it is, that very prominent camera module. I love the accent around that ring right there. It accents very well with the color of this phone. I do also need to point out on the back here, you'll see from the back it sort of ramps up a little bit to where that camera module is. You'll see it raises from the side, and then once it gets towards the top, it sort of quickly ramps back down to make it more uniform. But you can see a little bit of a ramp starting right here. You can feel it as well. Not that it's really that big of a deal, just something to point out. And here's a look at that quad camera system. Like I mentioned, 50 megapixel wide angle lens with a 1-inch sensor, variable aperture. We'll check that out in just a little bit. But you also get a 3x telephoto lens at 50 megapixel and a 5x telephoto lens as well. Both of those telephotos have the Sony IMX858 sensor and optical image stabilization, and the final lens is an ultra-wide angle lens at 50 megapixels as well. Our phone has booted up. Just a couple things to make note of. First of all, in the hand, this feels extremely premium, really comfortable to hold. It does have some weight to it though, so just kind of make note that it definitely has some weight. And also, with that variable aperture, I don't know if the microphone's going to pick that up, but you can sort of hear the lens moving when you shake it like this, which some phones in the past have done that as well, and it makes sense that you should be able to hear that. So just wanted to point that out as something that I noticed. Anyways, I'm gonna run through the startup process, talk about anything noteworthy. Here are the screen lock options, including face unlock and fingerprint. Let's set up the in-display fingerprint scanner. Setting our thumb down, it will scan it. I do believe this is an optical fingerprint scanner, not ultrasonic. I'll make an annotation if I'm incorrect about that. I'll look that up after I start editing this video. Anyways, also want to point out that was easy and quick, but there is a pre-installed screen protector as well. So that's nice that it does come with that. Setup complete. You're ready to rock. Here we go on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra on the home screen. Quickly going to change the wallpaper. There's a lot of really cool wallpapers, which I appreciate if there's a lot of pre-installed wallpapers that look really good. So shout out to Xiaomi for including ones, a lot of them that I can actually use and swap between. Even some animated ones, locking the phone. There it goes with the always on display, setting our thumb down. There we go, unlocked, ready to go. And I do recommend you keeping it on, but just for you and the satisfaction, the sake of this video, there's that pre-installed screen protector. And a close look at that gorgeous 6.73-inch AMOLED display at 1440p resolution. This display has Adaptive Sync Pro and can go from 1 to 120 hertz refresh rate. And I can see it's already enabled out of the box. With Xiaomi's OS, you swipe from the left for notifications, from the right to get to all of your quick shortcuts. Anyways, let's go into display settings very quickly. Out of the box, looks like it is set to full HD, so that 1080p resolution, but I recommend trying out that 3200 by 1440 resolution right there. And then going down, oops, did I skip it? No, I didn't. Where is that? Oh, there it is, refresh rate. It was right underneath it. So it's set to default, which will automatically change based on what type of content it's showing, which I kind of recommend to save battery life, but also take advantage of that 120 hertz. Or you can select custom, go from 60 to 120 hertz and force one or the other. And it's very noticeable. Again, just seeing the refresh rate go all the way up to 120 hertz, animations look so much smoother. Just the overall use of the phone is just a better experience. Very quickly, before we flip it over and check out the camera, here's just a close-up look of all of these quick shortcuts that you do have, including reverse wireless charge, so you can charge other devices wirelessly with your phone. There's also a quick update to install, so I'm gonna let this install and then we're gonna check out the camera app. And we're back. Right when you open the camera app, you're prompted with two photographic styles to choose from between Leica's Fresh and Vibrant or Natural and Realistic. If you want a more standard smartphone experience, Fresh and Vibrant will probably get you what you're looking for, but Natural and Realistic also looks good depending on the situation. You can change it if you're not stuck to it once you choose that. So swipe down to open the menu. There we go. Here's the camera menu. A lot of different options, including, there it is, aperture right there. f1.9, you can switch it up to f4.0 as well. Just going to change the amount of light, the depth of field. Just snapping a couple quick pictures, see how quick that shutter speed is. Seems to be pretty instant to me. Also would like to point out, here we go, 0.5 times with that ultra wide angle lens. You can zoom in 2 times, which I believe is still digital zoom, and then 3.2 times is when you switch to that optical telephoto lens, and then 5 times zoom is also that optical telephoto lens as well. I also want to point out, with the ultra wide angle lens, you can get up to 5 centimeters of distance for a macro shot. So you can get really close to that lens to get more of that macro experience. There might actually be a macro mode to turn on to take advantage of that. If we go into more, there is a ton of other modes that you can actually choose from. Also want to show off fast shot. I believe it just ups the shutter speed quite a bit, so you can get an instant picture. You can change the focal length up here, place subject within 5 meters, within 1.2 meters, 0.6, autofocus. So it will focus depending on how far away. So you'll see how out of focus this plant is because it's too close to me. So you need to actually set it at a specific distance. So if you know that distance, 1.2 meters is right there for this leaf here, and then snapping a picture. So if there's something in motion or movement and you know the distance, or you can change it to autofocus, which will focus on what you're looking at, and you'll see it still takes a very, very quick shot of what it is. So as a quick test, I'm going to take a picture with f1.9 aperture, and now I'm going to switch it to f4.0, and we're gonna take a look at the results very quickly, just to show off what it's actually doing and how the end image will change just a little bit. So these aren't the exact same pictures, but I still should be able to show off what I'm talking about. So f4.0 is going to give you a little bit more focus in the background, so you'll see that plant that's further away. It's obviously focused on this plant in the foreground, but in the background, that plant still has some focus. It's a little bit blurry, but if you want a little bit more blur, you'll notice with that first one with f1.9, check out the difference in the focus of the foreground to the background. So there's just ways to play around with it. You get a different style, you get a completely different looking shot overall. You get some more natural blur in the background. You'll notice even just like the edges there are completely cut out perfectly right like that, just because it's blurred in the background with that different aperture. So really cool. A lot of fun to play with. You can even turn it to auto, I noticed, as well, which I don't know if I'm going to do. I'm going to probably play around with 1.9 and 4.0 depending on the picture that I'm taking. I don't know if you can tell, but there is so many features and so much to this camera. It's going to be a lot of fun to use. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll definitely be posting some content taken on this phone very soon, but also video as well. So you can shoot, obviously it's set to 1080p, you can shoot 4K 60, but you can shoot 8K 24, but not just 8K 24. You can shoot 8K 24 from every single lens. You'll notice 8K 24 did not change in the upper left-hand corner with the ultra-wide angle lens, 3.2x, 5x, it stays at 8K 24. So you can shoot in 8K on every single lens. If you do want to switch it while filming, you can do so, it looks like. Oh, it looks like just zooming. You can't zoom out to that ultra-wide angle lens. You need to start the recording with that ultra-wide angle lens, but you can zoom in, obviously, while you are doing your recording. And no matter what resolution you're in, you can change that aperture to f4.0 or f1.9 while recording your video. Just pointing out, when you switch to portrait mode, it zooms in quite a bit, as you can tell, but you do have an option here, the master lens system, to change the length of focus from 35 millimeters, 50 millimeters, 75 millimeters, to get a similar Leica style shot, soft focus, portrait, documentary, swirly bokeh, default as well. All right, so that's enough on the camera for now. Again, there's more and more to test out and check out with this crazy camera system. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. So anyways, that's it from me on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. More to come soon, so be sure to click that subscribe button. As promised, let's go ahead and snap on that included case as well. So here it is on. Definitely covers up the color. It's not clear, but definitely adds more grip to it. The buttons on the side are completely open. Actually has some texture similar to a lens around that camera. And unlocking it, there we go. So that would be just the included case. Always nice when companies have extras included, but obviously it just looks better in my opinion without it on. So that's it from me on the 13 Ultra. I hope you enjoyed the video. More to come. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.